baby. That is what our birth doula told me to do when my wife was in labor at home, unintentionally, because there was no time to get to the hospital. Amazingly enough, that was pretty much the only instructions she gave me. Maybe that speaks to the incredible nature of birth, is that we've been doing it forever and it can really work out. But I was scared out of my mind. I wanted to come in here and tell you about my experience of doing our home birth, our unintentional home birth, and answer any questions people might have about it. Because it was one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had in my life. And it was terrifying and exciting. And typically those are the experiences that are the best in my life, the ones that are terrifying and exciting at the same time. And so I've already shared with you guys a little bit about how it all went down. But I called our birth doula in the middle of my wife being in labor, my wife saying there's no time to get to the hospital. And her instruction was, catch the baby, be ready to catch the baby. Even though that sentence, be ready to catch the, like, is the baby going to shoot out? Is there a certain velocity that I have to be prepared for? That was all she said. And then she coached my wife for her breathing. Someone asked, how did you manage when all of it was so new? That's such a good question, because, you know, a huge part of my coaching is to put people in new experiences. I think if you want new results, you got to be put in new experiences. You got to take on new actions. And something really incredible happens when you have no choice. You know, like, my wife's going into labor. There's no doctor here. We're not going to make it to the hospital. You better figure it out. You know, there's a really cool thing happens when we accept the situation we're in and surrender to it and go, I got to figure it out. Have you done this before? No. I guess I better figure it out as we go. And this is, if we live more of life like this, I think we can't live life like that all the time. There's, you know, bills to be paid, things to do. But if we live more of life like, I'll figure it out. Have you done that before? No, but I'll figure it out. I think there'd be so much freedom. You know, that's what children are like. And in this situation, my wife, it was like, you better figure it out. You better focus on what you can control. I think the most of pain in life has to do with us focusing on what we can't control and ignoring what we can. The only thing I could control in that moment was my facial expressions and my energy and whether or not we had towels and water. So that's what I focused on. I wanted my wife to be able to look at me or put her hand on me and know that I believe we're going to be okay. I believe this is going to be fine. And that's what I did. That's all I could do. You know, and I was tempted to, you know, talk to her or engage in my fear, but I knew that wasn't going to help anything. You know, and then there was this element of just letting go. Like, what's going to happen is going to happen. What can you influence? You know, and I think when we look at life like that, we have this thing that comes out of us that we didn't even know we had. You know, we're able to dig down deep and find something we didn't know we were capable of. And that's what happened during our birth. I mean, that's what happened for me. Think about what happened for my wife. She's the one actually doing the pushing, actually dealing with the pain of that, you know? Extraordinary. Extraordinary.